the weekly briefing for Thursday, July 24th, 2025. If you were in attendance to last week's briefing, this is probably going to be basically a rehash. That's how persistent this forecast has been. So some of this may be just a repeat of last week. But the main thing is the heat is going to continue and even expand. So we do have some scattered showers in the south over the next few days. Once again, associated with a little tropical disturbance, not expected to impact us really. But the new thing that I would like to introduce this week is the continued above normal temperatures and below normal precip could lead to quickly drying conditions. So we'll take a look at that real quick. And overall, the tropics look quiet for us. So first things first, dangerous heat today. This graphic may look a little funky because of that low pressure to the south. So the showers in the south may limit the heat risk a bit compared to yesterday, especially, and in the east. So they get a little bit of a heat break, but you can see that the heat is really focused in the Pearl River Valley and the along the Mississippi River. So that does include the metro, and we're looking at similar heat levels to what we saw yesterday in those areas. A little bit of a break, still elevated for tomorrow, but it's probably going to back off a little bit to tomorrow and into the weekend, but quickly rebuilding into next week. Next week looks maybe even hotter than what we saw this past week. Hotter in the east especially. So this week, a lot of the heat was focused west of I-55. Next week is probably going to be area-wide. So area-wide, possibly for extreme heat warnings. And that is largely due to this ridge of high pressure that sets up over us. That's even stronger than what we saw this past week. And the heat peaks Tuesday into Wednesday. That's when this low-level thermal axis is over us, and that's going to lead to our hottest temperatures possibly of the year. We could see a little bit more of a chance of triple digits across more areas. And that's just taking a look at the next week here. You can see that kind of like last week, we had this little break in the weekend here with this tropical low to the south, but then we're going to increase definitely by that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. And just looking at the rainfall, it's not much. I will point out that rain has been underwhelming guidance. And we tend to see that when we're starting to dry out a bit. So generally, ½ inch to an inch south of I-20 and less than that north of I-20. That may even be, on the higher end for north of I-20, to be honest. So yeah, we're quickly drying out in some areas. So we're keeping an eye on that. And you can see why. We really, there's some scarce rain chances over the next 7 days, but not a whole lot. And so that brings us into the new thing that I want to introduce this week. And that is we are starting to see some of the short-term dryness increasing. We're not in drought, but we're definitely seeing some spotty dry conditions. And I have a feeling that the increased heat and below normal precip that we're expected to see over the coming weeks, this could probably worsen. So we are monitoring that. And you can see that we are under this below normal for weeks 3 through 4. That is pretty far out, but when we're speaking about potential drought, we are talking long term. So just something to keep an eye on. This is the only thing we have in terms of tropical, not expected to really impact us. The showers that we see this afternoon are going to be from this little disturbance here. So that's the extent of how this impacts us. This isn't likely to develop into anything, and otherwise it's very quiet. So just to reiterate, dangerous heat expected to continue, possibly area-wide extreme heat warnings next week. So keep an eye on that. The scattered showers, a little bit. The confidence is highest in the Highway 84 and 98 corridors. But we really do need to watch out for increased dryness with the hot and dry conditions expected to continue. Otherwise, tropics are quiet.